Hi, and thanks Mel for the invitation to be part of this 2020 Boyd Open Day speaker series. I'm David Boyle, and I'm going to be presenting our Breezeway house, which has been shortlisted in the residential new and interior architecture categories of the New South Wales Architecture Awards. I'll just get the presentation up now. So Breezeway House offers a joyous and engaging destination for holidays by the beach for our Sydney clients, where shelter, shade, and connection to the landscape are prioritised. An understanding of how people may experience a beach house has informed a poetic response to placemaking throughout the site. Located on Durrinjuck people's traditional land on the Central Coast, close to McMaster's Beach, the complicated site is elevated from the street behind a mature copse of trees, but buffered from the immediate harsh coastal environment by the rear house and a protected pine tree. With awkward trapezoidal geometry and several cross easements, including a driveway slices the northern side and a positive easement gives access to the beach. All immediate neighbours have approval for new two-storey houses, so future massing and impacts on privacy and views would need to be considered. A linear building form stretched along the southern boundary allows a series of gardens to buffer the semi-public nature of the site. We consider these outdoor spaces to be part of and integral to the interior design of the house, simply rooms without a wall or open to the sky. The rhythm of a structural grid provides an expressive logic to the interior layout, along with an intuitive twist in the upper level geometry that echoes the form of the headlands at either end of McMaster's Beach. The building has been designed from the inside out and from the point of view of the user and how they may feel and experience the succession of spaces. Permeability, multiple entry points, and connection to garden rooms become important when reading the plans. The trapezoidal geometry is explored at both macro and micro level. On the ground level, 2 master bedrooms and interconnected bunk rooms allow flexibility for multiple groups to simultaneously occupy the house or for holiday rental. Upstairs, living spaces open to elevated decks and terraces set amongst tree canopies and lookouts to the beach. Repeated angular geometry affords a clear reading of circulation from the outside. The composition of the building is probably best communicated in these 3D diagrams, where the garden and outdoor spaces form this buffer to the right of way and to the neighbours. The exterior is robust and engaging, while internal and garden spaces are warm and layered. At the western end of the building, floats across the landscape, providing an undercroft beside the figs. A subtle gesture of enclosure and arrival point to access the laundry and storage. From the undercroft, the space is vertically compressed up to the timber-lined breezeway, which runs the full length of the building. It is a dynamic, flexible space for movement of people, air, and light. This carefully crafted timber spine warmly welcomes occupants, a moment to pause and realise you have arrived in the centre of the house in this place. The breezeway thermally regulates the building as an interstitial space between inside and outside, which is reflected in its materiality. The breezeway extends externally to a balcony set amongst the canopy of the trees and is supported above the ground by a self-bracing bent steel post. The undercroft area forms a sheltered space for both play and parking. The breezeway provides access to the flexible bedroom spaces. These can open to each other and to the northern garden room. Surface sliding doors with fan light panels and louvers provide cross ventilation without compromising privacy. Twin bunk rooms can open up to each other and to the breezeway for play and can be closed off when required. Modular surface sliding doors open bedrooms directly to the northern garden, with seating around a fire pit set in a plinth and an informal veranda edge. The slight elevation of the plinth provides separation from the driveway, which will be further enclosed once the landscape is matured. The main bathroom continues the natural and robust palette of materials and can be accessed from the garden without entering the house, as can the eastern family room. The western bedroom is perched amongst the fig trees to receive filtered western sun through a large picture window. At the top of the driveway is a second entry point. A pivot door can be set in 3 different positions, here allowing direct access up to the deck, or closed off from the driveway but allowing internal access, or fully open to the garden. A variety of landscape treatments define separate spaces with different senses of enclosure. You can also park on this level to quickly pack holiday gear straight into the house. At the east is a walled outdoor garden space, which is an extension of the northern garden. It provides access to the right-of-way to the beach, a landing spot to wash down, hang towels and surf gear, or children. A double height entry veranda extends the breezeway to the upper level landing, which leads directly into the living space. Here, the intuitive twist in the roof is revealed, chasing light across textured surfaces and forming seating alcoves. 2 glass windows and 3 timber screens can be fully retracted to catch the northeast breezes and the sound of the ocean. Complex geometry is layered, forming surfaces for ever-changing qualities of light. And you are able to experience a singular but layered space, much like climbing through the bush to the top of a rock platform. Alcove spaces are tucked away for services, and sliding hatches are included to serve coffee and cocktails. Materials are textured and the hand of the maker is evident in the finished work. Moments of clarity in the composition can be understood from a tectonic rigor and assemblage of the parts. Preference is given to quality, longevity, and craftsmanship. The palette allows for the reflection of light and views to outdoor spaces, the landscape, and the ocean to dominate the interiors, and for the owners to curate their furniture and contemporary artwork. The protected elevated deck is closed on the northern facade in anticipation of neighbouring development, while maintaining district views. A narrow stair leads to a small whale watch, and an understanding of that intuitive twist can be found in the way that the building responds to the headlands. Preference was given to a limited palette of materials that are natural, sustainable, and robust. These have been carefully composed to emphasise moments of craft, pattern, and texture that can be discovered over time. A grid of steel posts between suspended concrete slabs are braced by single skin infill brickwork, which is clad externally and internally within the breezeway with charred tongue and groove timber in a reverse brick veneer construction. Exposed black butt framing within the breezeway is clad with unfinished compressed fibre cement. External doors are manufactured from recycled hardwood from a carbon negative manufacturer. Site-built joinery, including internal doors, seats, wardrobes, and bunk beds, is carefully constructed with plywood and black butt edging. I should acknowledge many people who contributed to this building, including Kevin Liu as the project architect from our office, SDA Structures for their incredible engineering work, Pangara Landscape Design, but particularly to our local team of tradesmen who worked on this job. Brad, Tim, and Johnny from Patterson Builders are incredible and gathered this amazing set of contractors including Ian Graham, who came out of retirement to build all the site-built joinery, the plywood joinery, and Rick Byrne, who single-handedly laid every brick in this house. We also offered our signature brush turkey imprint in the concrete to guard the entry to the house. So Mel's also asked us to choose another project in this year's awards, and I couldn't go past the 2019 Architecture Commission by the National Gallery of Victoria in absence by Edition Office and Yoni Skars. I find it a hauntingly beautiful work with a clarity of idea and form to enact an emotional response to the visitor. It also seems to me to be incredibly timely in the current climate that we acknowledge and respect our collective shared history. This image particularly I find quite haunting because to me it seems like our collective consciousness is relayed in the way that this strong geometry to me represents eyes, our collective eyes looking up into the universe. So congratulations to that team for such a profound and beautiful work. And thanks for listening to my presentation.